And if you're just joining us here from White House Field, a little bit of power issues in the surrounding area. There was an accident that caused an outage in the entire town. That's been resolved, and we're here for baseball here on YouTube. It's 0-0 score in the bottom of the first inning. The Braves wins 1-2-3 in the top half. It was Morissette, Warren Beloso facing the pitcher Carson Seymour here today. And Ryan Cusick is on the mound for the Braves. Cusick coming into today's start, looking to pick up another win on the season. Cusick on the year is 1-2, a 4.73 ERA. He's thrown 19 innings. Today will be his fifth start of the year. He's given up 10 runs, all of them earned, 18 strikeouts, and 18 hits. Only 3 walks in just those 19 innings. Last time we saw him was against Katuitz. On July 7th, he picked up the loss in that game, giving up 5 runs, all of which earned, and really one bad inning cost him everything in that outing. The lineup for the Mariners looks like this. It's Max Marshak leading off in center field, Chris Gallant in left, Daniel Cabrera DHing today, Nico Kavanis at third, Mike Ludwig in right field, Chris Lanzilli at first, Mike Rothenberg at catcher, Corey Acton at second, and Hal Hughes rounds things out at shortstop for today's version of the Harwich Mariners. First pitch just came in at 5:17. Now, 10 minutes later, it's the first pitch from Ryan Cusick, and it's taken up the middle. Jimmy Glowinski gloves it. Throw from behind second base. It's close. It's bang, bang, but they get the outs on the first pitch.
Yeah, hard hit ball there from Marshak, who led this game off with a liner over to short. Jimmy Glowinski gets the start back there after getting the night off last night, puts the play, and one up, fires the first. You mentioned a bang, bang play. It was close, but he was able to get him on a fast throw from Glowinski.
Yeah, defensively for the Braves, it looks like this. It's Greer behind the plate, Beloso at first, Cody Morissette at second, Jimmy Glowinski at short, Xavier Warren at third, Kyle Hessen left, Giovanni DiGiacomo in center, and Kyler Fedko rounds out in right field. First pitch now to an all-star reserve. Chris Gallant finds the zone for strike one.
Yeah, I mentioned this Harwich team with 8 all-stars on the team. They'll have 3 starters.
0-1 is off speed, and it's a good pitch there from Ryan Cusick. It's Fandats, and now Gallant in the hole here, 0-2.
And that 3-starter number ties YD for the most starters in the Eastern Division. Very talented team for the Mariners. They just haven't been able to put it all together yet.
0-2 pitch is a waste pitch, misses way up top. Count out a ball and 2 strikes. I believe also Wareham with 8 selections to the All-Star team over in the West as well. Braves, of course, with 6. And the 1-2 rather, from Cusick just misses inside, and the count evens at 2-2.
And the Braves, the only team in the entire league without a starter named for the All-Star game. They have 6 selections, but no people on the starting roster.
2-2 now to Gallant. Breaking ball, got him swinging. Cusick with 2 straight outs here, his first one on the strikeout.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pitch from Ryan Cusick, who is coming off a start where he ended up getting the loss against Katuitt 4 1/3 innings pitched. He'd allowed 5 earned runs, and he's looking for a big comeback start, and he gets 2 quick outs, one on the grounder over to Glowinski, and a big strikeout there. He now faces Daniel Cabrera.
And Cabrera is another All-Star. He's DHing here today for the Mariners. Cabrera on the season hitting .317. Cusick kicks and fires. First pitch to Cabrera is a strike on the outer half, and he leads 0-1. Cabrera last night at Wareham, 2 for 3. Couple runs scored and a walk in that game. However, the story of that game last night against Wareham currently sits on deck. 0-1 from Cusick, just misses the zone outside, and count now to Cabrera as a ball and a strike.
Yeah, it was Nico Kavadas who's on deck. He went 3 for 4 with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs on the night. Yeah, and he now has the league in home runs.
1-1 misses outside as well on the off-speed from Cusick. 2-1 now the count. Braves 2-1 against the Mariners so far this season. They had a 3-1 loss way back in the very beginning of the season. That was just the second game. 2-1 from Cusick, popped up foul. That'll head out of play. Then the Braves came back to White House and got a 5-1 win with Harrison Rakowski on the mound. And then just a couple weeks ago, a 3-2 win back at Doran Park. The Braves with the opportunity to clinch the season series tonight against the Mariners.
Yeah, this is their first game in a while in the East Division. You mentioned they played the Harwich Mariners just a few weeks ago, but the Braves started out this season playing a whole bunch of East opponents, and now a mid-season game against the Mariners.
2-2 pitch now is off speed, flown out into left field. Kyle Hess racing toward the left field line. He's under it, and he makes the catch on a trot for out number 3. Both pitchers go 1-2-3 in the first inning. And when we come back, it'll be the 4, 5, 6 spots for the Braves to get their first shot at Carson Seymour here on the Braves Baseball Network. Four, 5, 6 spots due up here in the top of the second inning between the Bravos and the Mariners. And if you're just joining us, the Braves lineup looks like this. It's Cody Morissette who leads off. Xavier Warren following him. Cade Beloso batting third. Jimmy Glowacki cleans things up, playing short. Judd Fabian DHing tonight, drops down to the 5. And Giovanni DiGiacomo rounds things out for the starting 9 for the Bourne Braves. The shortstop Glowacki now getting ready to step in and getting his first look at Carson Seymour. Seymour worked a 1-2-3 inning in the first, including 2 strikeouts. First pitch to Glowacki, misses the zone for ball 1.
Glowacki's coming off an off day. Didn't play yesterday in the game against Kitsui. His last game was against Wareham. He went 0 for 4 and ended the game with a double play.
0-1 pitch is low, but Glowacki offers at it, misses it. Count evens at a ball and a strike. You're at runners on first and third in that situation. Braves trailing by 2 runs, and Glowacki hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Batting .250 on the year, looking for his 20th hit. 1-1 pitch is a check swing. They appeal to first base. They say Glowacki went around. Now he trails in the count 1-2.
Yeah, that was a great off-speed pitch from Carson Seymour. And Glowacki thought about it, couldn't hold up the swing, and now he finds himself in a 1-ball, 2-strike hole.
Here's the 1-2 from Seymour, way upstairs, almost brushes Glowacki off the plate. Count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 now to Glowacki, grounded foul toward the first base dugout. Very muggy day over here in Harwich. 85 degrees, hottest day I think we've seen over here on the Cape, and 65% humidity, feels like 90. And I didn't think I'd say this, but that Arizona weather, that dry heat, I'm a little missing it right now.
Wow.
2-2 pitches off speed. They appeal to first base, and Glowacki held up. Count fills up now 3-2.
Yeah, this is what we deal with all the time in Indiana. So this is hot. I mean, when the humidity comes in, it really adds another layer, and it's hot. It doesn't feel good.
A little bit of a breeze is all that's missing.
Yeah.
3-2 count here to Jimmy Glowacki. Here's the payoff pitch from Seymour, misses way upstairs, and we have our first base runner of the game. Glowacki jogs down to first base on the walk, and now here comes Judd Fabian.
And he works a pretty good at-bat there, runs it to 3-2, and ends up getting a high and tight pitch for the second time in that at-bat. Seymour was really working that area of the zone. Couldn't find it, so the Braves now have a base runner, their first of the game, and Judd Fabian, who typically leads off, is now moved to the middle of the lineup in the 5-hole after an 0 for 12 stretch since his three-run home run against the Kettleers earlier this week.
Yeah, he sees normally the leadoff spot as he pops his first pitch out to the first base line. It's Lanzilli who gives way to the second baseman, Acton, who makes a diving catch right on the line. It's almost no man's land over there, but Acton made the grab for out number 1.
I couldn't quite tell if that was going to be fair or foul, but Acton from second base, calls off first baseman Lanzilli, and right by the foul line makes a diving play. It was almost in no man's land above everybody's head, but Acton makes the play for the first out of the inning, and Fabian goes hitless once again in his first at-bat.
Now here comes Jackson Greer up to the plate. Greer is named an all-star reserve, actually started his Cape season here with the Harwich Mariners. First pitch to him, he takes out into right field. That's Michael Ludwig who makes the catch for out number 2. And after the Glowenke walk, it's been 2 pitches for 2 outs.
Hard hit ball by Grier just right over to Michael Ludwig in right field. The Braves have been getting solid contact, just can't find any gaps so far. But a little bit of a different lineup that Harvey Shapiro has tried out. Jackson Greer typically batting in the 4 or 5 spot. Fabian leads off. He switches it around. Cody Morissette, who's been a hit machine, now moves to the leadoff spot.
Here's Kyle Hess. He looks at a first pitch breaking ball that the catcher Rothenberg couldn't find. Glowenke will take second on the pass ball. It hit off the back foot of Kyle Hess and rolled to where the grass meets the dirt here right on the home plate area, and Glowenke was able to take advantage and take second.
It was a late decision by Glowenke to move, but he ends up taking advantage of Rothenberg just losing the ball. And now the Braves had a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
And a base hit could bring him in. Kyle Hess coming into today's game, hitting .231 on the season, only just 1 RBI. 16 strikeouts, which is near the team high. Judd Fabian currently holds that title at 19. 1-0 pitch, fouled off down the first base line toward the Braves dugout, and the count evens at a ball and a strike now. Braves, so far against the Mariners this season, it's been quiet offensively, only hitting .202 in their 3 games against the Mariners this past season. 1-1 misses upstairs. Count now at 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, their last game here at White House Field was when Harrison Rakowski really broke out into the ace for this Bourne Braves team. He struck out 8 batters in an impressive outing, picked up the win.
2-1 to Hess, misses down and in. He's now got the huge lead here, 3-1. And I think that game, Sam, was what really started to propel him to that all-star status.
Yeah, well, not only him, but I think this entire pitching staff after that game, which was early in the year, this pitching staff knew that they were going to be dangerous. We saw a couple pitchers, Wesley Tobin, who was later cut after that game. Tyler Brocious pitched in that game as well.
3-1 pitch is hammered into right field. Back on it is Ludwig. He looks up and say adios. Kyle Hess, a 2-run bomb here in the top of the second inning, and just like that, the Braves have the 2-0 lead.
Kyle Hess, a player that hasn't really shown a ton of power this year, took one to deep right field in what was almost a line drive home run over Michael Ludwig's head, but he had some serious drive on that pitch, and he makes this a 2-0 lead for the Bourne Braves.
Michael Ludwig, all he could do was look up in right field, and on one swing of the bat, the Braves now have a 2-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Here's Kyler Fedko now. He steps in, and he flies his first pitch out into shallow right center field. Marshak is there, and he makes the catch, and that's another out for out number 3. But Kyle Hess gets the Braves on the board, a 2-run home run off of just 2 hits in the inning, and gives the Braves the 2-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the second, and Ryan Cusick retaking the mound. We'll come back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. The Braves score 2 runs on just one hit. The 2-run home run from Kyle Hess to dead right field gives the Braves the 2-0 lead. However, they're coming up against arguably the hottest hitter in the league right now, Sam, and Nico Cavanas. 3 home runs in the game last night against Wareham.
Yeah, he now has the league lead in home runs. He takes over Austin Wells' spot, or he had that league lead for a while, but Cavanas, a dangerous hitter with 7 homers on the year, 3 of them coming last night.
First pitch to him just misses the zone low for ball 1. Cavanas from Notre Dame will be taking part in the home run derby as well before the All-Star game coming up a week from today over at Eldridge Park. One was rocketed foul down the first base line. Heads up over there. Count now evens at a ball and a strike.
And it's weird because this Harwich team isn't known for their power. The Braves have the least amount of home runs, and it's right up. Harwich is second to last. And Cavanas has now hit 7 home runs of Harwich's 13 as a team.
Here's his 1-1 pitch. That misses down and in. He takes the lead 2-1. Cavanas has hit 6 home runs in his past 7 games. Now, obviously, 3 of those came against Wareham last night in a big 6-1 win for the Mariners. 2-1 now. And that finds the zone right at the knees. Grier couldn't hang on to the ball. It doesn't matter. He got the strike call, though, and the count evens at 2-2.
See, that goes against your philosophy there. You always say that a pitch would be a called strike if the catcher just catches it if it's close to the zone. Well, that time it goes off Grier's glove, and it's a called strike.
It was that good of a pitch.
Yeah.
That was that good of a pitch there from Cusick. 1 strike away here from picking up his 2nd strikeout of the game. Here's the 2-2. And it's fouled off over the fence here, out of play.
Yeah, Austin Wells from YD also will be taking part in the home run derby. He has 6 on the year. Hunter Goodman with Hyannis, he has 5. One of the bright spots of their lineup.
2-2 now to Cavanas, and it's swung on and missed. Cusick does get his 2nd strikeout of the game. He strikes out the slugger, Cavanas, and it's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 2nd.
That was a high outside fastball that Cavanas chased. It would have been a ball, but he goes after it. Cusick has a ton of velocity on his fastball. We've heard from a lot of people that he's going to be pitching in the major leagues one day, and he shows it with that 2-2 pitch.
Definitely has the talent, just like a lot of this team dub. Here comes Michael Ludwig now, the right fielder, hitting .246 on the year for the Mariners. Looks at a first pitch strike from Ryan Cusick. Ludwig last night against Wareham, 2 for 4 with a run scored in that one. Here's the 0-1. Broken back ground ball up the middle to Jimmy Glowacki at short. He's got it sidearm throw to first base. It's close, but they get the 2nd out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down now for Cusick.
Yeah, that broken bat helped that ball not get any traction on the ground, and it slowly rolled to Glowacki at short, who was able to make the play pretty easily for 2 quick outs for Ryan Cusick. We mentioned Harrison Murkowski really broke out, and Cusick's already had a few good starts. He's looking for another one coming off his tough one against Katuitt.
Now here's Chris Lanzilli for the Mariners. Today's first baseman, Lanzilli on the year. Batting .163 as he looks at swings and misses, at a first pitch strike from Ryan Cusick. He's working very effectively here. Cusick working in the windup steps and now fires the 0-1. Misses upstairs. Count evens at a ball and a strike now. Cusick coming from Wake Forest. Pitched 7-3 last year with the school. 6.44 ERA. Breaking ball on the 1-1 is hit over to third. Xavier Warren's got to throw across the diamond. Is in plenty of time, and it's another 1-2-3 inning from Cusick on the mound. He's dealing so far. We head now to the top of the 3rd inning. 2-0 Bourne. And you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. It's Giovanni DiGiacomo to lead off here in the top of the third inning, then right back to the top of the order with Cody Morissette and Xavier Warren. DiGiacomo getting ready to step in, and more than likely we'll see him square up to bunt on at least one pitch, right, Sam?
He likes going after that first pitch and showing bunt. He hasn't been able to successfully lay one down yet. He typically pulls back and watches a ball, but he likes to scare the third baseman a little bit. There he goes.
Yeah, he squares up and he watches it come back for a strike. Cavana's playing at third. He's lining up a step or two in on the infield grass. And DiGiacomo now, that was probably the last time we'll see him show bunt. He's batting .250 on the year. And he fouls the 0-1 pitch off over the press box and now quickly falls behind here 0-2.
I think it's important to mention this game was actually pushed up. It was supposed to start at 5:30, started at 5:15 because of what they thought would be a major power outage. And luckily, it came on just minutes before first pitch. But they thought with the lights, they wouldn't be able to turn on, so they pushed it up to 15 minutes.
0-2 pitches popped sky high on the third base line. Cavadas is there. It drifts into fair territory, but he makes the catch for out number one, and DiGiacomo is retired.
And DiGiacomo has not enjoyed his first few at-bats on the Cape yet. He's 5 for 21. 0 for 2 against Katuitt his last game, but he typically comes on as a pinch hitter. Occasionally will start in the outfield, and we see one of those occasional starts here tonight.
Now here's Cody Morissette, an all-star in his own right. He struck out swinging his first time. First pitch to him, chopped over towards second base. That's Corey Acton. It almost gets by him underneath, but he's got it. Throws on to first base in time for out number two.
Yeah, that ball kind of took a weird hop, but Acton was able to pull it into his glove and make the play successfully. Gathered himself, took a few pumps, and threw it over to first to get Morissette out, and the Braves already with two gone.
Now here's Xavier Warren coming up. This just sitting at a 5-pitch inning right now, as Warren also struck out for the 19th time this season, retying Judd Fabian for the team lead. First pitch to him misses down and in for ball one. Although, while Warren is now tied in the lead for strikeouts, he's also leading the team in hits and leading the team in RBIs as well, driving in 16 on the year. 1-0 now to Warren. Also in the dirt, and he's got the 2-0 advantage. And if you came into today's game expecting offense, I think you might be a little mistaken. These two teams scoring the least amount of runs in the entire league. Bourne at 93 runs scored on the year, while Harwich just at 91. 2-0 pitch misses upstairs, and Warren's got the huge lead here, 3-0.
Yeah, and if Harwich can just find a little bit of offense, they could be successful in the later part of the season. They're going to battle Brewster for that 4 spot in the East Division of what it's looking like right now.
3-0 finds the top of the zone right at belt level. Warren now ready to go here, batting from the left side. Still leads in the count 3-1.
We still talk about how close that East Division is. First place is Chatham with 34 points. Last place is Harwich with 26.
3-1 fouled off toward the Braves dugout on the first base side, and it fills up at 3-2.
In just a few games, this East Division can be completely flipped, turned over. Harwich can go on a win streak, and they're a team that can do that. They've been playing hot recently. They're 6-4 in their last 10. So really anything can happen in that East Division.
3-2 is a hanging breaking ball that Warren takes into deep center field. Max Marshock is under it, however, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So despite the hanging breaking ball, the Mariners able to get out of the inning at a 1-2-3 pace. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. Ryan Cusick takes the mound when we come back here on the Braves Baseball Network. Bottom three of the order are due up here in the bottom of the third inning. Ryan Cusick has thrown 6 up, 6 down so far. He takes on Mike Rothenberg, Corey Acton, and Hal Hughes. With the Braves leading the Mariners 2-0 here off the Kyle Hess 2-run bomb.
One of the more unlikely players to hit a bomb, and Kyle Hess. We mentioned we haven't seen a ton of power from him, but he belted a ball to straightaway right field on a line drive home run. And that's been the only offense so far in this game.
Mike Rothenberg comes in, tonight's catcher. He's batting 182 as they get rid of an extra baseball down on the right field line, maybe close a gate perhaps as well. And we're ready to go. 2-0 score here from White House Field. The Braves with 2 runs only on 1 swing of the bat. First pitch now of the bottom of the third. It misses down and in for ball 1. The Braves having a busy morning today, Sam. Waking up very early, going to Red Wilson Field over at YD to meet with all the other teams, conduct a few tests today, meet with some scouts. 1-0 pitch, chopped foul down the first baseline. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, they had a seminar about financial planning, and it's crazy. You think about these kids only in college, but the players that are going to be rising juniors, this is going to be their last season of college baseball. And they'll be quickly drafted into the MLB and signing contracts and dealing with a lot of money. So they got a seminar about that kind of stuff and how to plan your financial future.
1-1 now to the catcher, Rothenberg. Breaking ball that Cusick has working today in the zone for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to count to the catcher, Mike Rothenberg. Here's the pitch from Cusick. Swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts in the game, and Cusick's got out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
Cusick looks good. If you see him on the mound, he looks like he's in the zone. A beautiful 2-strike pitch on Rothenberg for his 3rd K of the game, and he's working so far through the lineup this first time.
Here's Corey Acton stepping in now. 115 on the year. That's his average, one of the lowest on the team. Played last night at Wareham, 0 for 4. First pitch to him, breaking ball. Perhaps off speed, just misses the zone outside. Want to know the count now. And if you look at the team totals for everybody who's been in a Harwich uniform so far this season, as the 1-0 is sliced foul down the left field line, out of play, 1-1. Man with the highest average on the team right now is Jackson Greer for Harwich. He went 4 for 10 during his time here. Now has come to the Braves after playing a game with YD, and he's made himself a season, going to be an all-star.
Yeah, he's had quite the year, and it's such a big thing to play for 3 different teams and still be named an all-star.
1-1 pitch is a breaking ball that misses low. Acton thought about it. He held back. 2-1 to count.
And when you think about it, that's not just playing for 3 times. That's moving here with the host family in Harwich and then have another host family for a game in YD and then move again to Bourne. And he's had to go through a lot this season, but he's put all that behind him, and he's performed extremely well for the Braves.
2-1 is again popped up foul, this time over the Harwich dugout down the third baseline. Count now at 2-2. Jackson actually stayed for a night with one of our fellow interns, Quinn Stebbins, welcomed into his house at, and what did he say, about 10:30 at night? Yeah. He was greeted by, now Jackson's not a small guy. He's about 6'3", 235, built like a linebacker. Little intimidating meeting him for the first time.
Deep Southern accent, too.
Yeah. Here's the 2-2 now. Popped up into shallow left field. This has a chance at getting down. The left fielder, Hess, dives. He can't make the play, and it skips just behind him. It's the first hit of the ball game for the Mariners, and it's off the bat of Corey Acton.
Yeah, Hess thought he had a chance at that ball. It hung up in the air into shallow left field. He dove for it just in front of his outstretched glove. Jimmy Glowacki at short was also there to help, but it falls, so it's a bloop single for Corey Acton, the first hit of the game for the Mariners.
Now, both teams tied in hits at 1 so far as we are wrapping up the first third of the ball game. It's been a fast one, but with these two teams playing against each other, the combined worst 2 offenses in the league and the best 2 pitching staffs in the league, that's what can be expected. Cusick works out of the stretch for the first time and fires the first pitch into Hal Hughes, the shortstop, and he swings and misses for strike 1.
Well, the Braves started off the season, the first half, they definitely had one of, if not the best pitching staffs in the league. And recently it's been their hitting that's really caught fire, and their pitching, especially their bullpen, has kind of slacked off. So they're looking, hopefully by the end of the year, they can put all that together, go on a hot stretch into the playoffs.
Cusick checks on the runner out at first base, Acton. He's back in with a slide. And we've all heard a lot of people say it's not about where you are in the playoffs, just as long as you're in. 0-1, fastball right down the middle. And Cusick now with the 0-2 advantage.
Yeah, as long as you make it into the playoffs, the Braves looking to hold on to that 4 spot. And if they go on a hot run into the playoffs, they can be dangerous. We've seen this team put 14 runs on a Falmouth team who coming into that game was extremely hot. So they have the potential. They just have to put it all together and go on a run of 5-6 games and get a couple victories.
Cusick comes, sets, hands meets just above the belt. Now the 0-2 delivery, chop to third base. Warren's got it. Throw on to second base is in time. Around the horn, and it's in time. A 5-4-3 double play, and Cusick works another 1-2-3 inning thanks to the around the horn double play. It's no runs off of 1 hit. Nobody left on for the Mariners. Now we head to the top of the 4th inning with the Bravos still on top, 4-0. You're watching here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Three, 4, 5 spots due up for the Bravos in the top of the 4th inning. It's Cade Beloso looking for his first hit of the evening, going up against Carson Seymour on the mound, throwing for the Mariners. Has only given up 1 hit. However, Sam, it's a 2-run home run to Kyle Hess.
Yeah, so that's the 1 hit you don't want to give up, and he gave that up after walking Jimmy Glowinski to lead off the inning.
First pitch to Beloso misses up high for ball 1. Beloso, we all know, he gets on base quite a bit. 11 walks on the year, also hit by pitch as well. 1-0 is in the dirt, and he takes the lead in the at-bat. 2-0. We know also Beloso, a little bit of superstition. We've seen him go 0 twice so far in this Cape Cod Baseball League season, and both times he's changed up the facial hair a little bit. 2-1 pitch is a check swing. Beloso holds back, but it's called a strike anyway. The count now at 2-1.
Yeah, we saw him go 0 in one game. He came back the next day and had a mutton chop look with the goatee. That was my favorite one, probably. He's gone clean shaven before as well.
2-1 just misses the zone outside and low. 3-1 to count. Yeah, we saw him with that mutton chop look. The sideburns and the goatee disconnected. And then we saw him go clean shaven. Now back with a little bit of a goatee. Here's the 3-1 now to Beloso. And it's a strike. Beloso was ready to jog to first base. Now he's got to see one more pitch as the count fills up to 3-2.
And we learned there's a couple other players on this Braves team with superstitions. Colby Dunlop, who was a pitcher who pitched he actually pitched in the Falmouth game that got rained out. He shaved his head.
Payoff pitch is fouled straight back into the screen. Beloso will see another 3-2.
He had longer red hair, and he got a haircut because he allowed runs in the Falmouth game that ended up not even counting. He got a new haircut. Brendan Rivoli, another one we talked about it before, has the tweener pants.
Payoff pitch to Boso, flown out into shallow left field. Chris Gallant coming on it, but it's caught by the third baseman, Nico Cavadas. He makes almost the over-the-shoulder catch. He caught it on the backhand up toward his face, and he makes it for round number 1.
Yeah, that was great concentration by Cavadas, who was going to be the only one that could have made that play. I don't think Hal Hughes at short would have had a chance, or Chris Gallant in left. It was all up to Cavadas, and he moved back and made that play. Not really over the shoulder, but he turned his back on it. Hand was up in the air and made the play for the first out, and a dangerous hitter in Cade Veloso goes retired for the second time.
Now here's Jimmy Glowinski stepping up. He walked and later scored. He takes the first pitch into deep right center field. Marshak and Ludwig coming back on it, and the catch is made in right field by Ludwig for the second out of the inning just on that first pitch.
And we knew this game was going to be more of a pitching battle, but this one has just flown by. Already 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning, 2 quick outs on flyouts to third and right field. And right now, Carson Seymour, just that one mistake to Kyle Hess, has been rolling.
Here's Judd Fabian. Looks at a breaking ball that finds the zone for strike 1. Fabian 0 for 13 since he hit that 3-run home run. 0 for 1 today. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball, chopped to shortstop. Hal Hughes has to make a tough play on it, and he doesn't even make the throw. Judd Fabian gets his first hit since the home run. He ends his skid with an infield single with 2 outs.
That was a slowly hit ground ball to Hal Hughes at short, and he made the right decision. Judd Fabian has speed. He's a center fielder. He has to cover a lot of ground, and he has speed going over to first base. Hal Hughes ended up holding on to it, not even making a throw. And yeah, for the first time since his 3-run home run against Katuitt a few games ago, Judd Fabian has a hit.
Good for him to end that skid. Get back to being up at the plate with confidence. Here's Jackson Greer. He flew out to right his first time back in the 2nd inning on the first pitch. We know Jackson is very aggressive up there at the plate, and if he sees an off-speed, he's more than likely going to drive it. First pitch from Seymour. Breaking ball, and he does exactly that. Chomp it to third. It's Cavadas. He makes a throw across the diamond over the head of Lanzilli, but he jumps, makes the catch, and comes down on the bag in time to beat Jackson Greer. So no runs off of 1 hit and 1 left on for the Braves. As, like Sam, you said, we're rolling through this game, heading into the middle of the 4th inning, still with the score 2-0, and you're watching it on the Braves Baseball Network. Top of the order due up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 lead for the Bravos over the Harwich Mariners off of the 2-run home run from Kyle Hess. Cusick throws his last warm-up pitch of the inning, and we are almost set for baseball. The Braves right now in the West Division sitting comfortably in that 4th spot. The Cavaliers were the only team in the West to win last night because they beat the Braves. Wareham lost to Hyannis, and Katuitt, like I said, beat the Braves. Falmouth lost to Brewster in extra innings, and Hyannis lost to the Chatham Anglers in the 9th inning there, giving up 3 runs for a 6-3 loss. So the standings look like this. It's Wareham in first at 33, Katuitt in second, only a point behind, Falmouth in third at 27, the Bravos at fourth at 20, and rounding out the West is Hyannis with only 6 wins on the year with 13 points, but they're only 3.5 games back from the Braves, Sam.
Yeah, the Braves can just get a few wins to close out the season. They should be in a good spot. Hyannis with a now 1-game losing streak, but they haven't looked good all year. The only thing that's saving the Braves right now is how bad Hyannis has been playing.
First pitch to Max Marshak, and he takes it outside for ball 1. Good pitch there from Ryan Cusick. Now Cusick steps, kicks, and fires the 1-0. Breaking ball that Marshak went around on the check swing. So the count evens at now at a ball and a strike.
And these next few innings, the middle innings for Cusick, are going to be important. He rolled through the first time against this lineup with only allowing 1 hit. He was able to get that base runner out the very next play on a double play. So we'll see what this lineup can do the second time seeing his pitches.
1-1. Marshak squares up to Button. He lets it go by him for ball 2. We know Cusick, it was all about the commands out there. If he was able to spot his fastball where he needed to and work in that good second to third pitch, he'd be fine. And he's doing that so far today. 2-1 now to Marshak. Fastball right down the middle. Marshak must have been expecting something else. He watches it go by for strike 2.
And that's been Cusick's best pitch so far. Has been the fastball. We've seen him have some location issues with that fastball, but right now he is locked in. Another great fastball against Marshak.
2-2 now. Breaking ball popped up down the right field line. Fedko watches it go foul, and he'll head out of play, and we'll stay here at 2-2.
Yeah, Harwich, I mentioned this before, but they're only 8 points from first place. The East Division the entire season has been incredibly close. And if this team can find an offensive spark, they can be dangerous heading into playoff time. They have the talent.
Only scored 91 runs. That's good for worst in the league so far. 2-2 is lined into left field over the head of Xavier Warren, and it's a leadoff base hit for Max Marshak here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, the first batter, leadoff batter in this lineup. The second time he sees Cusick, finds his pitch and takes it to left field in front of Kyle Hess for a leadoff single. Now Cusick needs to take care of him pretty quickly, or the Mariners can put some runs on the board against him the second time they see him.
Especially with 3 All-Stars coming to the plate. Here's the first one. Is Chris Gallant. He struck out swinging his first time back in the first inning. Only the second base runner of the game for the Mariners as Cusick throws back to first, and Marshak's back in with a slide. Cusick comes set. Hands me just above the belt. Kicks and fires. There goes the runner, Marshak. Throw is down, and Marshak steals second base. Pitch was called a ball. Missed the zone low, and now the Mariners have a runner in scoring position.
Marshak got a great jump on that pitch, and Jackson Grier saw him, just didn't have the throw over to second base. A good throw would have been close, but Marshak slides in safely. That is his 16th stolen base of the season.
He swipes second base on the first pitch. And now it'll be interesting to see how the Mariners play it here. They try and move him over to third base. Daniel Cabrera and Nico Cavadas due up for the Mariners. Now Cusick taking his time. Now comes set. Runner on second. Nobody out still in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to him. Gallant went up to bunt. It's a wild pitch. It skips by Jackson Grier. Gallant rounds third. And he stops there. He advances 2 bases on 2 pitches, 1 on the stolen base, and now 1 on a wild pitch. The Mariners just 90 feet away from getting their first run on the board.
And one important stolen base for Marshak, who now has 16. That is second place in the league. And then a pitch that gets by Jackson Grier goes all the way to the wall. Now he's in perfect position to score with nobody out. Gallant a 2-0 count. And that's just what getting aggressive on the base pass will do to you. The Braves rank last place in stolen bases with 7. And that's second place by a while. Well over 15 stolen bases separates the second to last team and the last place Bourne Braves. Harwich, being aggressive, now has a runner over at third base.
As a 2-0 count now to Chris Gallant. The lineup doesn't get easier for here for the next couple batters. 2-0 pitch, breaking ball. Big swing and a miss there from Gallant. He's way out in front. and he looks at his first strike.
Hyannis is that second to last place team with 22 stolen bases. The Braves with 7. Been caught stealing 9 times.
2-1 now from Cusick. Another breaking ball fought off, and it's a bloop single out to right field, just over the head of Cody Morissette. Kyler Fedko picks it up, throws back to first to try and catch Gallant from coming off. Marshak is able to jog in home safely, and now we have a 2-1 game on our hands.
That was a bloop single to right field that really nobody could get. Morissette tried at it. Kyler Fedko in right was too far away, and it falls in between all of them for an RBI single off the bat of Chris Gallant, and Harwich gets 1 run back.
And still nobody out here in this bottom of the 4th inning, so Harwich not close to being done yet. Here's Daniel Cabrera. 0 for 1. He flew out to Kyler Fedko his first time. We'll have to see if Chris Gallant on the base paths will be moving. As Cusick checks on him, and he gets back in standing up.
And Gallant has 8 stolen bases himself, so he could very well be on the move over on the base paths.
Doesn't have a huge lead over there at first. And Cusick will again throw over there, and Gallant's back in on his feet.
This Harwich team ranks 4th place in the league with stolen bases, 33. First place is Falmouth with 48.
Cusick comes set. Hands at the belt, takes a peek at first. Now fires the first pitch. There goes Gallant, hit and run. Pitch is slicing foul down the left field line, and that's where Kyle Hess will watch it hit the floor. Gallant will return to first base, and the count now at 0-1.
You already see the aggressiveness for the Harwich Mariners. A hit and run right after Marshak steals second base and comes around to score. They're trying to get these runs back. They know it's going to be a pitcher's battle this entire time, with Cusick throwing pretty well, at least the first time through the lineup. A low-scoring affair, so stolen bases just mean that much more.
Especially when you're only down by 1 run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Flown out into left center field. Hess and DiGiacomo meeting in the middle. It's Hess to make the catch for an important out number 1.
And it is a big out number 1. Allows the double play to end the inning in the middle infield. But with Nico Cavadas coming up, this is, of course, a big hitter. Leads the league in home runs with 7. 3 homers last night. He is coming on and on a hot streak, and Ryan Cusick, who got him to strike out the first time, is looking to set him down for the second time this evening.
He did strike out back in that second inning. He led off that inning with a K. Keeping an eye on Gallant at first is Cusick. There he goes on the first pitch. Another hit and run. However, Cavadas fouls this one off over the press box, and he falls behind 0-1.
Jackson Greer making a motion to Cade Beloso, the first baseman. He might be throwing down after Cusick's pitch, but Harwich really aggressive on the base paths with Gallant at first.
And you can't blame them in a game that they've only had 3 hits, 2 of which coming in this inning. Sometimes you have to take advantage of some situations as the 0-1 misses upstairs. Count evens at a ball and a strike now. 2-1 score. Harwich getting on the board here in the bottom of the 4th inning thanks to an RBI single, a bloop single from Chris Gallant, who sits on first base right now. Marshak singled to lead off the inning. He stole second, and there goes the runner Gallant now. Pitch misses outside. The throw down is in time. Jackson Greer catches Chris Gallant stealing, and that's a huge out number 2.
Jackson Greer, a beautiful throw. We saw Gallant move again. It was a hit and run for a while, but that time Cavadas lays off. Gallant goes over to second, and Jackson Greer, a wonderful throw to Jimmy Glowacki covering at second. It's perfectly placed right close to the ground, close to where Gallant was sliding, and it was easy for Glowacki to just lay the tag on for the second out.
2-1. And here comes the delivery from Cusick. It's fouled off back into the fence right behind home plate, and the count evens at 2-2, and that's a big momentum killer for Harwich.
It is, especially with your best hitter in the lineup coming up. Now there's nobody on. Now it would be important for him to come up with somebody on. He can possibly drive him in, but the bases are empty for the cleanup hitter.
Cusick gets his sign from Grier and now fires home the 2-2 breaking ball that is swung on and missed by Nico Cavadas. It's the 4th strikeout of the game for Ryan Cusick, and the Braves get out of the inning only giving up the 1 run off of 3 hits. Nobody left on. And the Braves still on top of the Mariners, but looks like they'll need some insurance runs as we head into the top of the fifth inning here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the fifth inning, and 7, 8, 9 spots due up for the Bravos here. Up 2-1, and here's the man responsible for both those runs here, Sam. It's Kyle Hess.
Hess in his last at-bat took a deep fly ball to right field, and he hit off the arm of Carson Seymour for driving in 2 runs, and the only 2 runs the Braves have been able to get this game.
First pitch to him is a moon ball into left field. Chris Gallant is under it, and he makes the catch. It's 1 pitch, 1 out for Carson Seymour to start off the fifth inning.
And ever since that home run, Seymour has done pretty well, not allowing a single hit to the Braves in the third and fourth innings. Or, 1 single from Judd Fabian. That was about it. No runs, and he's looking to get into a groove in the middle part of this game in the top of the fifth.
Yeah, just an infield single from Judd Fabian is all that's been accounted for here in the Braves offense. First pitch now to Kyler Fedko. He looks at it for strike 1. Fedko flew out to center field back in the second inning. Of course, Kyler Fedko brothers with Christian Fedko, who is an all-star on this Harwich team. He gets the day off today. 0-1, hanging breaking ball that's taken out to center field. And for the second time today, Kyler Fedko flies out to Max Marshak out in center for out number 2.
Yeah, not only is his brother an all-star, he's also a starting second baseman on the East All-Star team for Harwich, both out of UConn. We mentioned the last time these two played at Doran Park earlier this season. It was the first time those two brothers had ever played on opposing sides of a game in their entire lives. And Bourne ended up getting the edge against Harwich in that game. A pretty special moment for Kyler Fedko and Christian.
First pitch to Giovanni DiGiacomo. He takes outside for ball 1. And actually, in Kyler Fedko's, that is, his first at-bat, he popped up to his brother Christian over at second base.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. They both kind of smiled at each other after that at-bat.
1-0 to DiGiacomo, misses low for ball 2. DiGiacomo popped up to the third baseman Cavadas in the top of the third inning. He's 0 for 1 so far, but way ahead in the count here. 2-0. He pops up sky high into shallow right field. It's Corey Acton who gives way to the right fielder, Michael Ludwig, who makes the catch, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. 3 fly balls, all to different outfielders. It's F7, F8, and F9 in the scorebook. Well, now into the bottom of the fifth inning, still 2-1 Braves, and you're watching it on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the 5th inning, and the Braves still with the 2-1 lead thanks to the 2-run homer from Kyle Hess. And Cusick gave up 1 run last inning, but now he's on the mound going up against the 5, 6, 7 spots here against this order. But other than that last inning, Sam, he's been pretty dominant.
Yeah, he has, and he gave up a couple hits in that last inning, 2 hits, and luckily got Jackson Greer to throw out Chris Gallant on an attempted steal at second base, so he gets some help from his field. But he's been doing pretty well so far. It just matters. It's always seems to be with these Braves starters, the first time through the lineup, they do extremely well, and the second time these batters see their pitches, they start really getting to him. For Cusick, he needs to remain focused, make sure that fastball is still working. That seems to be his main pitch against this Mariners lineup, and continue to roll through, not allowing any more runs, and then hand it off to the bullpen.
And this is a Harwich team who's been pretty hot offensively the last couple games. They were actually up 12-0 on Katuitt back a couple days ago before that game got rained out in the 4th inning. Of course, you need 5 innings for it to be deemed a complete game, so Harwich just missing out on a win there as first pitch to Michael Ludwig is in the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, it's just tough break for the Harwich Mariners, who can use any win they can get. It was a game against a Western opponent, but they obviously both run on point systems, so they could have picked up some major ground in that East Division.
0-1 now to Ludwig, and that's in the zone on the off-speed for strike 2. Ludwig kind of with a smile on his face. He didn't like the call. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to Jimmy Glowenke his first time back in the 2nd inning. Harwich only 1 point behind Brewster for that 4th and final playoff spot. 0-2 is a fastball up high. Ludwig thought about it, but he holds back. Count out a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, they're a little more on edge than the Braves are, who don't really. They have 7 points on Hyannis, but Hyannis can put a few wins together, and the Braves can go on a losing streak, and just like that, Hyannis could be in the 4th spot.
Here's the 1-2. Ground ball to Glowenke again. He's got it on a hop shuffle and throw to first base, and it beats Ludwig by a step for out number 1.
There's been a lot of close plays over to short with Glowenke today. He waited for that last hop to finally corral it into the glove and toss it over to first, but just getting Ludwig by maybe half a step. Very close play at first base.
Now here's Chris Lanzilli. 2 Wake Forest teammates going against each other here, Cusick and Lanzilli. Zilli grounded out to Xavier Warren his first time. First pitch to him is just below the knees for ball 1. You mentioned that the Mariners more on edge than the Braves, and they also have 6 more points than the Braves do this season. 13 wins, good for 26 points, compared to the Braves' 10 wins and 20 points. 1-0 is off speed, and he got Lanzilli to go way ahead of that one. Swings and misses, count out a ball and a strike.
Yeah, it's just we seem to talk about every broadcast, but it's just crazy how much better the Eastern Division seems to be than the Western Division. You put Braves in the Eastern Division, they're in last place by, like you said, 6 points.
1-1 now. Just missed upstairs. Looks like another breaking ball out of the hand of Cusick. Falls behind 2-1.
It's certainly not a talent thing. It's just the way that these teams are kind of gelling together and just the way that these games are rolling. It's just been in the Eastern Division's favor.
2-1 is swung on and missed. He got Lanzilli to go up on the high stuff, and now Cusick just 1 strike away from his 5th strikeout of the game.
That's been working for Cusick so far. He gives off speed or a fastball high, and Harwich seems to go for it. We'll see if he does that again against Lanzilli.
Cusick in the windup takes a breath. Now steps and fires with the 2-2 delivery. Breaking ball, and he got him swinging. Lanzilli goes down on strikes, and it is the 5th strikeout of the game here for Ryan Cusick.
That was a beautiful breaking ball for Ryan Cusick that fell almost all the way to the dirt, and Lanzilli couldn't catch up to it. He goes down swinging. 5 strikeouts for Ryan Cusick, and what a start he's had so far.
About a strikeout per inning for Ryan Cusick. He strikes out his Wake Forest teammate. Now goes up against Mike Rothenberg. Rothenberg is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch to him is just low, misses the zone. About shin high for ball 1.
Cusick's best start was June 23rd against Chatham, a 4-2 victory there. It was the second game of the doubleheader. He picked up the win. 5 innings, 8 strikeouts for him. This is the most strikeouts he's had since that performance.
1-0 is grounded over to second base. Cody Morissette bobbles it. He picks it up, throw on to first base, and plenty of time for out number 3. A much-needed 1-2-3 inning from Ryan Cusick. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. Now we head to the top of the 6th inning. We are really zooming through this one here today from White House Field. 2-1, the score with the Braves on top of the Mariners. You're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network. Top of the 6th inning here from White House Field. 2-1 score. The Braves on top of the Mariners, looking to pick up the season series over Harwich with 3 wins if they can hold on to this one. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhaft. Sam, let's take a little trip around the Cape, shall we?
Yeah, this is the original trip around the Cape. First, we'll start off at Red Wilson Field. 2-0 lead for the YD Red Sox over Falmouth. That game's in the bottom of the 6th. We'll travel over to Lowell Park, bottom of the 4th inning. Katuitt leads Orleans 6-1 in that Western-Eastern Division matchup. Bottom of the 3rd inning at Stony Brook Field. Wareham over Brewster 4-2 right now. That game is in the bottom of the 3rd. And Hyannis and Chatham still waiting to start. That one is slated for 7 o'clock at Veterans Field.
So that one just about half an hour away. Cody Morissette's back in to the box. He looks at a 1-0 pitch and now looks at a 1-0 pitch that is in the zone. On the breaking ball from Carson Seymour, who's had himself a very nice start. Only gave up that one mistake to Kyle Hess. 1-1 now to Morissette. Misses upstairs. 2-1 now. Morissette looking for his first hit of the evening here. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. 2-1 misses low, and Morissette's got himself way in the lead here at 3-1.
Yeah, Morissette, we talk about his turnaround. Started 2 for his first 18. Has turned it around, now is an all-star, a 283 average, but he hasn't gotten a hit since July 10th at Hyannis with 1 hit in that game.
3-1 is fouled up over the press box, and count will fill up at 3-2. Morissette in the early parts of the season was striking out a lot. He's done well to hold off. He struck out today for his 16th time and takes the 3-2 pitch up the middle. He beats the shift past the shortstop, Hal Hughes, and into center field for a leadoff single.
Yeah, they put a pretty big shift on him. Corey Acton, the second baseman, was playing more toward first base, which allowed that right center field area of the infield to be open. And that's exactly where Morissette, the lefty, hits it, a ground ball right into that area for a leadoff single. His first hit of the ball game, his first hit in 3 games.
Now here's Xavier Warren, who's got a 5-game hitting streak coming into tonight's game, looking for his first hit. He struck out as well, and he also flew out to center. First pitch to him, and he takes it back into center field. He hits it hard. Problem is, it's right at Max Marshak, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, Marshak playing in the perfect position off the bat of Xavier Warren. Gave that pitch a ton of drive. Just right to where Marshak was playing for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, he barely had to move for that one. Here's Cade Beloso now. He's 0 for 2. Ground out and a pop-up. Beloso looking for his first hit. Runner on first is Cody Morissette. Just sneaked a single through the infield. And Beloso looking to move him over here. A little bit of a shift played on to him. First pitch is an off speed that stays high for ball one. Third baseman Cavadas playing over toward where shortstop would, and Hal Hughes, the shortstop, playing almost just behind second base. There's a big hole right up the middle of the infield. And Seymour will take a check back on to Morissette, and he's back in on his feet. Seymour's got the ball, foot on the rubber, and we're ready to go here. 1-0 count to Cade Beloso, the first baseman tonight. There goes the runner, Morissette, hit and run, and it almost hits Morissette. He's able to advance to second, but Acton makes the catch on the ground ball, throws to first in time for out number 2.
Yeah, the hit and run seemed to be the right play that the Braves, Harvey Shapiro, manager, calls, as it was a ground ball right over to second. Acton would have had a double play if it wasn't a hit and run, but Morissette gets to second safely, so he's now in scoring position. And now Jimmy Glowacki comes up. We'll see if he can do anything with that, but that play can end up being pretty important.
And here's Jimmy Glowacki as the defense goes back to playing him more or less straight up here. 0 for 4 against Wareham back on the 11th. Looks at a first pitch down low for ball one. And he's 0 for 1 in today's game. He walked, advanced to second on a pass ball, then was hit in by the home run by Kyle Hess. He flew out to left as well back in out to right field, I should say, in the 4th inning. 1-0 now. That's also in the dirt. Rothenberg does well to pick it out of there, and now the count at 2-0.
And you know what a difference a week makes. Last Sunday, the Braves played Catuan at Doran Park, an 8-6 win for the Kettleers, a 3-hour and 40-minute game. This game already with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, just past the hour 15 mark.
Still got some time to go. I wouldn't call it for sure yet. Here's a 2-0. Breaking ball. That finds the top of the zone. It was a slow breaking ball. Glowacki didn't really like the call. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face. And now he's got to deal with it with 2-1.
Yeah, he got the high outside part of the plate, but he just has to take it. 2-1. Morissette still over at second. This is a good opportunity for Glowacki to get an RBI.
2-1 pitch is fouled back into the screen. Count evens at 2-2. There's an arm warming in the bullpen right now for the Mariners. It's Nick Stewart, perhaps just getting ready to come in the top of the 7th. 2-2 count here with 2 away and a runner on second base. The Braves up 2-1 on the Harwich Mariners. Here's the pitch from Seymour. Breaking ball that Glowacki does well to lay off. Rothenberg blocks it. He keeps it in front of the plate, and the count fills up at 3-2.
And he's going to see Seymour's best pitch on 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And Glowacki hoping to turn on one, put it in the outfield, and bring Morissette home over on second.
Full counts with 2 outs. On the top of the 6th inning, a runner on second. Payoff pitch from Seymour, and Glowacki fouls it off back toward the fence. And he'll see another one.
He's doing a good job of adjusting. He's seeing a lot of off-speed pitches from Seymour that he's getting contact on. Can't turn on one just yet, but Seymour has been working the off-speed against Glowacki. We'll see if he does that again, 3-2.
Seymour steps off, readjusts himself, and now steps back onto the rubber. Runner on second is Cody Morissette. Here's a payoff pitch. Line drive to second base. Corey Acton knocks it down. He has to spin around. He holds onto the ball. He couldn't make a play to first base. It's an infield single for Glowacki. And now Judge Fabian has the opportunity to knock in the runner who advanced to third, Cody Morissette.
It was a hard-hit line drive by Glowacki over in the right field area. Acton moved to his left. He kind of put his arm out, and it hit the glove, but it couldn't stay in for him to make a play. It just flopped right back on the ground in front of him. And Acton didn't have enough time to throw it over to first. Glowacki gets on. It'll be an error on Harwich, so mark that down as an E4. It looked like a tough play for Acton, but now we'll have a mound visit with runners at the corners and Fabian coming up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Acton would have made that play routine. That was a pretty unroutine play. So Glowacki doesn't get credit for the hit. And we have the mound visit right now. Like I said, it's Nick Stewart, who's warming up in the Harwich bullpen. Runners on the corners here for the Braves, and they're threatening in the top of the 6th inning, 2 outs. And it's Judd Fabian, who ended his snide earlier today. He singled after going 0 for 13 since his last hit, and it was the 3-run home run against Catuan.
And Fabian, when he gets a hit in games, they typically come in bunches. He has three hit ball games for the Braves so far during this season in his 61 or now 62 at bats. And he's looking for a big one here with runners at the corners.
Mound visit has commenced, and we're ready to get back going with some baseball here. Jackson Greer is on deck. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Seymour comes set. First pitch now to Fabian. Fastball that he turns on. He hits it foul over toward the Harwich dugouts for strike 1.
Good catch by a player in the Harwich dugout as well.
Morissette on third and Gallant at first. Here's the 0-1 to Fabian. Breaking ball, and it misses the zone low. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
This is going to be Seymour's last inning he sees. There is a pitcher warming up. He'll be taken out after 6, but just looking to get that final out and not allow any more runs to come across.
Here's a 1-1. Line drive up to shortstop. It's Hughes who's got it. He flips on to Acton, who steps on second base for the forced out. They get the third out the short way. So for the Braves, they can't score anybody. It's no runs off of 1 hit. There's 1 error in the inning, along with 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Braves still with their slim 2-1 lead. And you're watching Braves baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Braves up 2-1 on the Harwich Mariners in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hello, everybody. Jordan Palacio alongside Sam Wiederhaft. We hope your Sunday evening has gone well. Your weekend as a whole, we hope it's been safe and successful. Braves looking to finish their weekend off here with a win over the Mariners to clinch the season series against them. They're currently 2-1 against Harwich, winning the last 2 games. Corey Acton steps in. He's 1 for 1 with the single. He was the first hit of the ball game for the Mariners in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch from Cusick, and it misses the zone just outside.
Cusick's gotten 5 strikeouts, 1 strikeout in every single inning. Has only allowed 3 hits so far and 1 earned run.
Here's the 1-0, popped up into left field. Kyle Hess running over toward the left field line. He's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Easy out. This is likely going to be Cusick's final inning that he pitches, so he's looking for an easy one to put the Mariners down in order and just continue what he's been doing on the mound.
Hal Hughes now steps in. Hal Hughes 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play to end the 3rd inning. There is, like we've mentioned, an arm warming in the Harwich bullpen, likely to replace Carson Seymour. First pitch to Hal Hughes, and it's in the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, Hughes, all he's done is grounded out into a double play. This is only his second at bat, and it's in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Here's the 0-1 now from Cusick. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Good pitch from Cusick. Fooled Hughes on that one, and now he's in the hole here at 0-2.
He's been hitting his locations right. You don't see too many pitches from Cusick, at least not tonight, that are falling in the dirt. That was beautiful in the glove of Jackson Greer and gets Hal Hughes to swing at it. Now he's down 0-2.
Two coming from Ryan Cusick. Foul tipped back into the glove of Jackson Greer. It's another strikeout. Make that number 6th in the 6th inning here. 2 away in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, make that the 6th consecutive inning with a Cusick strikeout. He's got 1 in every single inning, and that was it on Hal Hughes. Gets him swinging, and that's 2 quick outs for Ryan Cusick on the mound.
Cusick is only 1 batter away from facing the minimum. This is batter number 19 that he's faced. When if he had faced the minimum, he should have been facing number 18. It's Max Marshak, the leadoff man. He looks at ball 1. He's 1 for 2, one of only 3 Harwich hits. He singled in the 4th, stole 2nd, advanced to 3rd on a wild pitch, and then was singled home by Chris Gallant. Here's the 1-0 from Cusick. Swung on and missed on the off-speed. Marshak way ahead of it, and count evens at a ball and a strike.
This is probably the second best pitching performance we've seen by the Braves this week. Mac Lardner, last Monday, 7 innings there for him, only allowed 2 hits against the Falmouth Commodores, 8 strikeouts, and that 14-0 victory for the Braves. But they started off the week strong, and now they're ending it strong with Cusick.
1-1 pitch just misses the zone outside on the breaking ball. Lardner in that game against Falmouth retired 18 hitters in a row. That's a performance we're likely not going to see again the entire season. Here's a 2-1. Fouled straight back into the fence behind home plate, and now Cusick just 1 strike away from getting out of the 6th inning.
He's been solid so far. We'll see if he gives him a high fastball. 2-2. That's been one of his best pitches today. Marshak, who's 1 for 2, has one of the only hits. He's the only player that has come around to score. Looking to get a 2-out rally started in the bottom of the 6th.
Cusick shakes off a sign and now fires the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. See you later, Max Marshak. A strikeout, number 7 for Ryan Cusick, and he finishes what may be his outing with a K. 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We head now to the final third of the ball game. It's 2-1 Bourne over the Harwich Mariners, and you're watching it on the Braves YouTube network. Top of the 7th inning, and we have our first pitching change of the game with Mariners trailing 2-1. They turn to the bullpen, ending Carson Seymour's night. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk and 2 strikeouts, both of which coming in the first inning. And now on the mound for the Mariners, Sam, it's Nick Stewart.
Stewart, a 6'6" rising junior from James Madison University, comes into this appearance with a 1-1 record, a 6.75 ERA. This will be the 6th game that he's pitched in. Has one game that he started so far, 2 saves as well in 14 2/3 innings pitched. He has 19 strikeouts, just 2 walks, and allowed 18 hits on the year.
And the first pitch is to Jackson Grier, and it catches him off the elbow. Hit him right on the elbow guard, and not a great way to start. And home plate umpire is going to meet with his cohorts at first and third base. He never made an official call. Grier just jogged to first base. So already, his first pitch of the game, we got a little bit of controversy.
Well, I think that pretty cleanly hit him on the elbow. We'll see what they're talking about. Greer did show a little bit of pain, but he had that elbow guard on. Obviously, not the best pitch for Nick Stewart to start off his outing. Last game he pitched in was July 8th against YD, a 4 innings pitch performance there, and they will keep Jackson Greer over at first. So he did get hit by the pitch. I guess they were just talking it over to reassure themselves.
Yeah, and perhaps Jackson Grier with a little bit of a sell job gets the hit by pitch, so he's on first base. Now here's Kyle Hess, hero of today's game, with a 2-run home run back in the second inning. First home run of the year. And now we have a conversation between Steve Englert, the manager, and the home plate umpire. That comes to an end pretty diplomatically. And now we're ready to go. Hess 1 for 2. That 2-run bomb in the second, and then he flew out to left back in the 5th inning. First pitch, he squares to bunt. He watches it go by, crosses the plate near his feet, and he's in the lead here at 1-0.
And Greer, luckily, he's wearing that elbow guard, but if he were to get hurt on that hit by pitch, we know Jake Campbell is dealing with some injury issues right now. The Braves would be out of catchers, and Brendan Rivoli, who caught at Virginia, could be seeing some action possibly in the coming days.
1-0 misses down and in. Count now at 2 balls and no strikes. And Campbell just shaking up a little bit. Caught a little bit today just to test it out. We'll know for sure tomorrow. But Brendan Rivoli today definitely was preparing like arrow against Katuitt. Stewart already working from the stretch, hands me in front of the letters, fires the 2-0, and it misses inside, 3-0. Make that 4 consecutive pitches that's missed the zone, and he's in danger of walking Hess on 4 pitches.
Noah Stewart has allowed an earned run in every single game against a June 2nd matchup against Katuitt, where he went 3 innings there and only gave up 1 hit, but he's given up at least 1 run in every single other appearance.
3-0 finds a zone. It's a much-needed strike for Stewart right at the knees. 3 balls and a strike now to today's left fielder in Kyle Hess. Stewart comes set. Now kicks and fires a 3-1. Hess fouls it straight back into the screen, and Stewart's done a nice job of trailing 3-0. Has filled up the count of 3-2.
Yeah, he's put a little bit of a battle on Kyle Hess, who you mentioned is the hero for the Braves, has the 2-run home run in the second inning, and that's been the only scoring that has been needed to be done for the Braves. Ryan Cusick comes in and only gives up 1 run in his 6 innings.
Here's the payoff pitch. 3-2. Ground over to first base. Could be 2. Lanzilli got it. Throw to second in time. Throw on to first is not in time. It's also dropped by the pitcher, Stewart, who's covering. So Hess beats out the fielder's choice, and Grier is sent down with 1 out, and Hess the runner at first.
Lanzilli, smart decision to throw it over to second, get the leading runner in Jackson Grier, so he's out at second. But the throw to a covering Nick Stewart just wasn't in time. Stewart didn't get to the bag in time to beat out Kyle Hess. The throw was a little bit right of him. So they only get the 1 out, but it's the lead runner, and Kyle Hess gets over to first with Kyler Fedko coming up now.
Couple flyouts for Kyler Fedko in today's game, both to Max Marshak in center field. First pitch to Fedko, misses the zone, way up high, just passing under his chin. 1-0. Kyler Fedko's brother, Christian, of course, playing for Harwich, picked to the All-Star team. Kyler, on the other hand, just still adjusting to the level of pitching, adjusting to using that wood bat. coming into tonight's game, batting at 171. Pops the 1-0 pitch foul over the heads of the stands and into the bit of trees over here at White House Field. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
And he's a pretty good batting practice hitter. He's hit a lot of home runs in batting practice, so he has the power. He's just trying to catch up to this level of pitching.
We've said it a few times before, Sam, but the pitching here, very equitable to that of a rookie or single-A league, as there goes the runner as Fedko drills it into left field. Back on it is Gallant. He's still running, and he makes a leaping catch. Unbelievable catch from Chris Gallant. Kyle Hess has to return to first base, and Gallant robs extra bases there from Kyler Fedko.
That might have been one of the greatest catches you'll see in the Cape Cod Baseball League this summer. Gallant, a jumping catch, not only diving sideways, but diving out as well, making the play on Kyler Fedko, who just gets robbed. That ball had extra bases all over it, was going to get to the wall, and Gallant makes an incredible play in left field for the second out.
He's an all-star for a reason. He saves perhaps a run from coming across. Here's Giovanni DiGiacomo. He drops a bunch straight to the pitcher, Stewart, who almost slips, getting the ball thrown to first base in time by a step. First base coach Aaron Meyer not happy with the call. Doesn't look like Harvey Shapiro is going to do anything, so that retires the inning. Chris Gallant, an incredible catch, might be the catch of the season. The Braves are retired. No runs off of no hits and one left on base. Stretch time here at White House Field. The Braves still on top, 2-1, coming up here into the bottom of the seventh inning, and you're watching it on the Braves Baseball Network. Bottom of the seventh inning, and the Braves with the one-run advantage over the Harwich Mariners. 2, 3, 4 stops due up, and doesn't get any easier for Ryan Cusick on the mound, Sam. He's got to go up against 3 All-Stars this inning.
No, and the longest outing we've seen by a starting pitcher for the Braves was last Monday. Mac Lardner went 7, so Harvey Shapiro sends Ryan Cusick out, who's only given up 3 hits, struck out 7, out for another inning.
First pitch to Chris Gallant after he just made a spectacular play in left field. He swings and misses for strike 1. Gallant, the only RBI for the Mariners today. He singled back in the 4th inning to score Max Marshak. And in the bullpen right now for the Braves is Nick Iverson. 0-1 is ground ball over to third base. Warren's got it. Throw on to first base across the diamond in time for out number 1.
Cusick, we mentioned how fast this game has been going, but he hasn't been throwing a ton of pitches either. So that's probably why Harvey Shapiro sends him back out. Not really fatigued. He's not showing any signs of it. So he'll face the best part of this lineup in Gallant, who already retires, then Cabrera and Cavadas, who he hasn't given up any hits to all this game to try and get out of the 7th.
Here's Daniel Cabrera from LSU. He's 0 for 2, couple flyouts. 1 to Hess in left and 1 to Fedko in right. His first pitch, he fouls off. He falls behind 0-1. Looks like it was off the catcher, Jackson Greer. Home plate umpire will go give the ball to Cusick himself and give Grier a couple seconds just to get his bearings back. Braves with the opportunity to pick up their third win of the season against Harwich, who, for the most part, has capitalized off their games in the West Division. They've played 17 games against the West this season, and Harwich has gone 10-7. Meaning, in their own division, Sam, they've only gone 3-8, which perhaps might explain why they're on the bottom of the East Division. Here's the 0-1. Misses upstairs. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, they're lucky that really playing teams in your division doesn't matter according to the standings because it's just points. So just any team you play, you can gain points. But that's where Harwich has been struggling. Tough in that East Division. It's been so tough, and they are unlucky to be in that division.
1-1 is upstairs. Count now at 2 balls and a strike. Braves, of course, riding the big 17 games in 16 days stretch. They got a day off, in quotes, thanks to the rainouts against Falmouth, even though that game was underway. 2-1, taken into center field. One Tiger hits it to another. Giovanni DiGiacomo makes the catch in center field for out number 2.
It was a low pitch from Ryan Cusick to Cabrera that he got under, gave enough time for Giovanni DiGiacomo in center to put that ball away. But yeah, Jerome, we talk about that Falmouth game. It was called in the middle of the second inning. Falmouth had a 7-2 lead. If not for that game, the Braves would be on a 3-game losing streak right now.
Nico Cavanas steps in. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. You mentioned he would have been on a 3-game losing streak. Still some work to do here. It was unlikely, of course, that the Braves would be coming back from 5 down. First pitch to Cavanas, misses the zone low for ball 1. 3 home runs in the game yesterday against Wareham. He takes over the league lead at 7 home runs coming into today's game. 6 home runs in his last 7 games.
And he'll be in the home run derby in the All-Star game a week from today.
1-0 pitch, misses the zone low. 2-0 now. Cavanas has been seeing a lot of good pitches. Despite all of his home run hitting, the Harwich Mariners ranking last in the league in runs scored at only 91 so far. Here's the 2-0. Misses outside, and Cusick in danger of giving up his first walk of the ballgame here to the cleanup man, Cavadas.
It's a dangerous hitter to be throwing good pitches to. So Cusick throwing around him the first 3 pitches. He's going to look to battle back and put a few strikes in the zone.
Definitely want to make somebody else beat you, especially with how good Cavanas has been. 3-0, and that just misses the zone. Cavanas will jog down to first base, and it's the first walk of the day given up by Ryan Cusick.
4-pitch walk to the best hitter in the lineup, Cavadas, who had been retired on the strikeout twice before. And Harvey Shapiro coming out with 2 outs. This could be it for Ryan Cusick.
Mike Ludwig stepping in, and Harvey Shapiro stepping out of the dugouts. Let's see if Nick Iverson turns around. It looks like he'll stay there for now. He was about to come in. He's just kind of waiting on the signal from Harvey Shapiro. He's kind of just lingering over there on the right field line. I think he's going to give him a chance to stay in this game.
Oh, you see Jackson Greer talking with Harvey Shapiro, the catcher, right now. Well, Harvey Shapiro obviously came up with full intentions to take Ryan Cusick out of this game.
And they are. They are going to take Cusick out of this game. So Cusick's night comes to an end, and he throws 6 2/3 innings. It'll be Nick Iverson to come into the game, but we'll take a quick break here from White House Field. Runner on first in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Ryan Cusick's night has come to an end. We'll be right back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs here, and it's a 2-1 ball game between the Bourne Braves and the Harwich Mariners. Harvey Shapiro decides to pull the plug on Ryan Cusick, ending his night at 6 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run. However, he is responsible if Cavadas scores, and he'll get credited with that run. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, almost tying a season high. They go to the bullpen, Sam, and it's Nick Iverson.
From Gonzaga, Nick Iverson, the right-handed pitcher, has one of the best ERAs on the team out of the bullpen. Is pitching in his 9th game, a 1.45 ERA, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits on the year. He's only given up 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 1 save. The last time he pitched was in the loss against Wareham, where he went 1 1/3, allowing 2 hits and 1 earned run.
First pitch to Mike Ludwig. He fouls off. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ludwig on the game. He's 0 for 2. Couple ground outs to Jimmy Glowacki over at short. Iverson out of Gonzaga. Comes set, hands me at the belt. Fires the 0-1, and it's taken into left field. This will get down for a base hit. Everybody moves up 90 feet. A 2-out single off the bat of Mike Ludwig keeps this inning alive.
Well, a pitching change can cause Harwich to, well, they obviously see a different pitcher. So Cusick, whose stuff was going really well for him, is ended. And momentum can change with Harwich completely getting a fresh new start against Iverson in a 1-run ball game. And Ludwig takes advantage of that after 2 ground outs, gets his first hit of the game. And now there's runners on first and second. This could get a little bit scary for the Braves.
Here's Chris Lanzilli now. We've seen the Braves bullpen, which at one point was the anchor point for this team, start to slip away a little bit as the season has gone on here as we enter the second half of the year. First pitch now to Lanzilli. Breaking ball. Good pitch. Finds the zone. Down and away for strike 1.
Lanzilli actually participated in the college home run derby at the College World Series in Omaha. Took a few games off for Harwich to actually compete in that.
Runners on first and second. It's Cavadas on second, Ludwig on first. Iverson takes a breath, checks on Cavadas, and now fires the 0-1. It's in the dirt. Lanzilli thought about it. They'll appeal to first base. He did not go around, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Harwich on the year actually with 3 players competing in the home run derby.
And they had Lanzilli, also Michael Rothenberg as well, who's on deck.
1-1 is grounded over to short. Jimmy Glowacki's got it. Long throw to first base. A little stretch from below so helps the cause. And the Braves get out of the bottom of the 7th inning without surrendering a run. It's no runs off of 1 hit and 2 left on base here for the Mariners. And now to the top of the 8th inning with the Braves. We'll look to put some insurance onto this 1-run lead. You're watching Braves baseball here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the order due up here in the top of the 8th inning. We got a good game on our hands, folks. 2-1. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhalf from White House Field. 2-run home run by Kyle Hess back in the second inning is the difference between these two teams today, but Braves with the opportunity to put some insurance on that run. Here's Cody Morissette to lead us off. 1 for 3. First pitch from him from Nick Stewart, missed the zone, outside and low for ball 1.
And this is the first time the top of the lineup will be facing off against Nick Stewart. Carson Seymour out of this game in the last inning. He threw 6. So this is a chance for the Braves to get some insurance runs against a new pitcher.
1-0 pitch to Morissette, kisses the dirt. He's got the lead now, 2-0. Morissette named a reserve all-star. Of course, no Braves making the starting lineup. The only team in the league to not have a starter. Here's a 2-0. Foul just off the edge of the bat. Straight back into the fence. Count now at 2-1.
And Morissette already a hit in this game in the 6th inning. Braves, all they're looking at him to do is just get on base, get an extra run home to add on to this lead.
2-1 finds the zone just on the up and out corner. Count now evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes here. The Braves have been out hit today by Harwich by a score of 4-3. Breaking ball that's fouled straight back into the catcher, Mike Rothenberg, and he is not doing too well right now. He's hurt.
And that was a foul tip right off the bat of Cody Morissette to Rothenberg. He seems to be okay. Just walking that off. That might have hit you in the place where you do not want to be hit.
Yeah, that's going to sting.
That's a little bit of a stinger, but he almost held on to it. If he would have held on to it, it would have been strike 3. It just came out at the last second.
Rothenberg trying to shake it off. Count to Morissette remains at 2-2. Now 2 different arms getting loose for the Mariners in their bullpen. It's Cam Pullman. It looks like Tommy Vale in there as well. Here's a 2-2 to Morissette. Fastball up and out. Count fills up now. Xavier Warren on deck, looking for his first hit of the game. Here's a payoff to Morissette, and he fouls it off right in front of the press box off the netting, and he'll see another 3-2 pitch.
Morissette's really good at battling in at-bats, or at least he has been after the beginning of the season got out of the way where he started 2 for 18, but he's been a lot better at running deep in at-bats and seeing the best pitches that these pitchers have to offer.
3-2 misses down and in. It's a leadoff walk after a great at-bat from Cody Morissette, and the Braves have a base runner.
That's good. That's what the Braves need. And Xavier Warren coming up. You have the top part of this lineup, the best hitters on this team looking to add on to just a 2-1 lead that could really come apart at any second with the way the bullpen has been pitching. So they lead off with Morissette on, and now it's Warren who's looking for his first hit.
Warren 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 flyouts to Marshak out in center field. See if Morissette moves it all over on first base. Stewart comes set, fires a first pitch into Warren right down the middle. Fastball for strike 1.
That's a tough fastball to try and catch up to for Nick Stewart on the mound. It's right in the middle of the zone, but Xavier Warren holds off, an 0-1 count.
Stewart takes a look over at first base, now sets, hands meet just below the chin. 0-1. Warren bunts it down the third base line. It's a good bunt. Cavadas picks it up, throws down to first in time for out number 1. A sacrifice bunt from Xavier Warren to move Morissette to second base.
That was a great bunt from Xavier Warren. The pitch was out of the zone, but he extended the bat, got contact on a little dribble over to Cavadas at third, who was charging in. He does exactly what he needs to do, get Morissette over to second. And in a game that is going to be run by the bullpens now, that runner over at second is going to become so important. And Xavier Warren advances him.
Here's Cade Beloso now. He's also looking for his first hit. There's only been 3 hits so far in the ball game. That's coming off the bat of Morissette, Hess, of course, with the home run, and Judge Fabian. First pitch to Beloso. He looks at the knees for strike 1. Jimmy Glewenke on deck for the Bravos. He's reached base twice. Stewart comes set. Morissette, the runner, on second base. Here's the 0-1, same pitch and the same result, right at the knees for strike 2, and Beloso now in the hole at 0-2.
Another fastball that's tough to catch up to off the arm of Nick Stewart. Beloso holds off. And he's gotten contact on every single at-bat that he's had. 2 ground outs and a fly out. He's looking to get his first hit of the game, down 0-2.
Stewart gets his sign from the catcher, Rothenberg. Sets. Beloso's got a battle back here. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Beloso goes down on strikes, and it's out number 2 now in the inning.
Stewart took him all fastball on that at-bat, and Beloso just couldn't catch up to it. The final pitch was a fastball outside, and Beloso completely whiffed at it. So now it's Golowenki. All he needs is a single to bring home Morissette and make this a 3-1 game in the 8th.
And he definitely has the speed at second base. Does Morissette to come in on a base hit, especially with 2 outs. He'll be moving on the swing of the bat. Golowenki on the game. Like I said, he reached base twice. He walked and scored in the second, flew out in the 4th, and then reached on an air. He looks at the first pitch up high, thought about it, but holds back for ball 1. The strikeout to Beloso, the first strikeout of the game since the second batter in the first inning, back when Xavier Warren struck out. 1-0 breaking ball. That finds the zone. Good pitch there from Stewart, and he's got the count even at a ball and a strike.
Well, that just shows that the Braves only have 3 hits, but they've been getting contact. These pitchers for the Mariners in Seymour and Stewart have just been able to get them to ground out, fly out, and the field's been making great plays too. Remember that diving catch by Chris Gallant in left.
1-1 now from Stewart. Up high. Golowenki holds off, and now he's got the lead in the at-bat here at 2-1. Golowenki, who's made a home at the cleanup spot in the order, has found himself there a lot in the past couple of weeks. Playing shortstop, has settled into his spot as a daily starter. He skies this one out into left field. Chris Gallant is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So the Braves get on with a leadoff walk, but cannot do anything with it. It's no runs off of no hits, and 1 left on for the Braves. We head now to the bottom of the 8th inning, where they're defending their 1-run advantage over the Harwich Mariners. You're watching Braves baseball here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the 8th inning, and it's a close game here between the Bravos and the Mariners here. 2-1 score, and it's the bottom 3 of the order here due up for the Harwich Mariners. 7, 8, 9, and Mike Rothenberg will lead us off.
And such a close game. One swing of the bat can completely turn this game on its head. Rothenberg, you mentioned, was in the college home run derby, and he'll come up with nobody out, a fresh start for the Mariners.
First pitch to Rothenberg from Nick Iverson, still on the mound, is in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, first time this part of the lineup is seeing Iverson.
1-0 is in right at the knees. Good pitch there from Iverson. Called a strike. 1-1 now the count. Rothenberg 0 for 2 in tonight's ball game. A strikeout and a ground out. 1-1 taken into right field. Back on it is Kyler Fedko, and it hooks foul off of a tree in right field. A long strike number 2.
Yeah, lucky that ball just curved foul for Nick Iverson on the mound. That pitch was hit with a lot of power off the bat of Rothenberg. But now he's down 1-2.
Yeah, it was tattooed for sure. Here's the 1-2 now from Iverson. Breaking ball popped up. This one looks like it'll trail out of play, and it just does over the fence. Jackson Greer in hot pursuit of it, sprinting toward the fence. But Rothenberg survives, and we'll see another pitch at 1-2.
Yeah, Rothenberg going to do whatever he can to get on base and get the tying run on the base path. It's a 2-1 game. It has been that since the bottom of the 4th inning when Harwich got their only run of the game. This game has been close the entire time. No team has been able to budge. And the Braves have 15 games this year that have been decided by 2 runs or less. So they know what it's like to be in these close games.
Here's the 1-2 from Iverson. Pitch just misses outside. Rothenberg thought about it, and Iverson couldn't get the call. The count evens at 2-2.
Close pitch on the outside part of the plate, but doesn't get the call. Now 2-2.
2-2 pitch popped up into left field, shallow left field. It will trail foul. Did he make the catch? He did not. Kyle Hess diving on the play, could not make the catch over toward the Harwich bullpen. That would have outdone Chris Gallant's catch, but Hess just not being able to convert on it.
That was close over on the foul side in left field. Hess was charging in. It was a weirdly hit fly ball where nobody could get it right by the Harwich bullpen, and Hess made the diving effort, just couldn't end up holding on to it in the glove.
So Rothenberg has fouled off a few pitches in a row here, gets another shot at life. Now against Nick Iverson. 2-2 the counts. Here's the delivery. Grounded up the middle. Jimmy Glowacki's got it. Throw from behind second base in time for out number 1. That's a big out number 1 here in this bottom of the 8th.
That's another bang-bang play for Glowacki at shortstop. He's had a lot of close ground outs, but he uses his arm to throw out Mike Rothenberg at first and get the first out in this inning.
Here's Corey Acton now stepping in. 1 for 2. He was the first hit of the game back in the 3rd inning. A bloop single off of Ryan Cusick, one of only 3 hits off Cusick. He flew out to left his last time. First pitch, he fouls off, out of play for strike 1. Unclear if Nick Iverson will pitch the 9th if the lead stays the same. 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and he's got the early lead on Acton here at 0-2.
He seems to be the new closer for the Braves after Tyler Brocious struggled in that role in his final 2 spots in the closer spots, and they might leave him in to try and finish this game out.
0-2 popped up sky high into center field. Giovanni DiGiacomo running in on it. He's under it, and he's got it for out number 2.
That's what we saw Katuitt do last night. They only threw 2 pitchers the entire game, and with the way that Cusick performed in his start, now Iverson, a quick 2 up, 2 down in this Harwich lineup, we could see the Braves roll with 2 pitchers.
Well, as we say that, of course, Kieran Shaw is now up and getting loose. So as soon as we bring it up, Shaw's getting loose. We saw Tyler Brocious throw the 7th inning of yesterday's game against Katuitt, so it seems that Kieran Shaw is now the new closer. And we have a pinch hitter here now stepping in for the Mariners. The first pitch strike. It's Christian Fedko coming in today's game. So after what was almost a day off, he comes in. Looks at strike 1, and now he looks at strike 2. Breaking ball. Great pitch there from Iverson, and he's got the lead 0-2.
Fedko is an all-star starting second baseman for the East team, a .273 average, 18 hits and 66 at-bats, a home run, 5 doubles, 8 RBIs.
Here's the 0-2, popped up, just foul over our heads. And Fedko stays alive here for another pitch.
His brother playing in right field make this now the second game in their 2 lives that they've played against each other.
0-2 count here to Christian Fedko. Here's a pitch from Iverson. Round right up the middle, and it's a pinch hit single that almost nicked off of Nick Iverson. And the tying run is aboard here with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th.
That's what Harwich needs. A little 2-out single gets Fedko on the base pass. And now it's to the top of the lineup. Marshak will hit. He's already got a single in this game. Gallant is on deck. He has an RBI single. They'll be having a pinch runner as Fedko comes out. Dylan Noisy comes in. But that's exactly what Harwich needs. Tying runner on second in a 2-1 game.
So Noisy comes into pinch run. Fedko's night comes to an end. And he did his job, got a single. Marshak stepping in. You mentioned Sam. He does have a single and the only run scored to this point back in the 4th inning. First pitch to Marshak. Pops sky high on the infield. Xavier Warren is under it. He's called off by Jimmy Glowenke, and he makes the catch easily for out number 3. So they give up the single to Fedko, but they get Marshak to pop up on the first pitch. We head into the final frame, 2-1. The Braves on top of the Mariners. We'll be right back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the 9th inning, Judd Fabian getting ready to step in, but let's take a last trip around the Cape, shall we, Sam?
We have some pretty close games. Besides the YD, that game has gone final. They win 7-0 over Falmouth. Wareham and Brewster, that game's 4-3 in favor of the Gatemen. That game's in the top of the 7th. Orleans and Kentuit tied 6-6 in the bottom of the 6th. And 0-0 score with Chatham and Hyannis in the bottom of the 2nd.
Judd Fabian fouls his first pitch off, out of play. Dylan Noisy, who came into the game as a pinch runner after Christian Fedko had a pinch hit single, he stays at shortstop. Fabian on the game, 1 for 3. He fouls another pitch off into the netting just in front of the press box, and now he quickly falls behind 0-2.
The Braves are going to need some insurance here. They only lead 2-1. They've been leading 2-1 the entire time, but Harwich just waiting to get another run home. They only have one more inning to do it.
Here's the 0-2 to Fabian. Swung on and missed. They got him to chase after the high fastball, and he goes down on the strikeout once again.
Now it's a tough swing on a high fastball thrown by Nick Stewart. Fabian goes down. It's only his first strikeout of the game, but just one hit and now 16 at-bats, so he's 1 for 16 since his 3-run homer against Kentuit.
Now here's Jackson Greer. He's 0 for 2. Got hit by a pitch the last time. He was the first batter to face Stewart, and he's behind on the fastball. Swung and missed for strike 1.
Stewart's doing his job. Hasn't allowed any runs to the Braves so far. Just 3 hits, all given up by Carson Seymour. Stewart hasn't allowed a single hit.
2-1 is a nasty breaking ball that Grier is way ahead of, and now he's quickly in the hole here at 0-2.
Yeah, that was a great pitch from Stewart. Grier way out in front of it, and now he's down 0-2.
Here's the 0-2 delivery from Stewart. Fastball that's fouled right in front of us off the fence. Grier fights off a pitch to stay alive here at 0-2. Braves on top of Harwich 2-1, despite being out hit 5-3 by the Mariners today. Here's the 0-2. fouled straight back, and Grier doing a nice job of staying alive.
Yeah, that was another tough pitch from Nick Stewart. It was a low fastball. Greer just gets a bat on it. Still down 0-2.
Here's the 0-2 now. Breaking ball taken into left field. This has a chance. Back on it is Gallant, and it just goes foul right before the wall. It stayed in play, but it one-hopped the fence just left of the foul line.
Yeah, Greer wanted that one bad and ended up slicing foul and actually hit the bottom of the fence. So not quite enough power on that pitch. If it was fair, it probably would have fell down a little earlier and given Chris Gallant enough time to catch it. But a long foul ball off the bat of Jackson Greer. He's still down 0-2.
And we know that he has the power to hit one out as well. And we'll see if he gets another off speed. That curveball hung up just a little bit, enough for Greer to hit it. Still on the hole here at 0-2. Here's the delivery from the pitcher. It's taken right back up into center field. Seymour makes a diving catch, make that 2 diving catches in the outfield, and the Harwich defense really playing up to their best today. 2 away now in the 9th.
The defense is doing the job for the Mariners. A diving play by Marshak in center field, and that's 2 outs in the inning. 3 hits only for the Braves. It's really the hitting. If Harwich can find some hitting, they're going to win this game. But it just hasn't been there. A great defensive performance for the Mariners.
Kyle Hess steps in, and he looks at a first pitch that misses the zone for ball 1. Hess, the hero of tonight's game, a 2-run home run. He'd be the hero if it wasn't for the pitching performances of Ryan Cusick and Nick Iverson to this point. Kieran Shaw likely to come in next. Pitch fouled off.
It's really just been one mistake by Carson Seymour. He laid a pitch just too much in the zone that Kyle Hess, who's not typically a power hitter, at least that we've seen this year, took to deep right field. Other than that, this has been a great game for the Mariners. The problem is that was a 2-run homer, and that just might be the deciding factor.
1-1 now to Hess. He fouls another pitch off, and now he's in the hole here at 1-2. Kieran Shaw is getting loose right now for the Braves, likely to replace Nick Iverson and come in for the save. 1-2 pitch now to Hess. And he fouls another pitch off over the Harwich dugout off the foul pole. Count now at 1-2.
Hess just looking to turn on one yet again. He's got a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Braves looking for any kind of insurance they can get.
1-2 pitch stays high. Hess watches it go by. And he's working a good at-bat here against Stewart. Count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Kyle Hess. Swung on and missed. Hess goes down on strikes. And Nick Stewart comes into the game and works a perfect 9th inning. 4th strikeout of the day for the Harwich pitching staff. And 3 outs to go in this one. Kieran Shaw comes in for the save. And we'll have the result of tonight's game most likely coming on the other side of this quick break here. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. The Braves 3 outs away from picking up their 11th win of the season here against Harwich. 2-1 the score, and here comes the closer now from Harvard University, Sam, Kieran Shaw.
Yeah, Kieran Shaw in a new spot. He's now the closer after Tyler Brocious struggles, but Shaw pitching in his 9th game has a 1-0 record, 2.34 ERA, and 7 2/3 innings pitched. He's only allowed 6 hits on the season and 3 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 10, just 1 walk. And he picked up the save the last time he pitched against Hyannis. 1 inning pitch there, no hits, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk against the Harbor Hawks last week. So he comes in looking to seal the deal for the Bourne Braves in what's been a tight ball game all night.
First pitch from Shaw is a breaking ball that misses the zone low. He's got to go up against the 3 All-Stars in this lineup right now, Chris Gallant, Daniel Cabrera, and Nico Cavadas. Gallant on tonight's game is 1 for 3. He pops this ball up into right field. Kyler Fedko is under it, and he's got the outs for out number 1, and the Braves now 2 outs away.
Yeah, Shaw, a great pitch on just a 1-0 count. Gallant got jammed and flew it out to right field, and that's already 1 gone. Obviously, Harwich looking for a base runner. Now it'll be David Cabrera. Cavadas will be on deck. If Cabrera can get on, Cavadas being the winning run at the plate, that's exactly what the Mariners want here in this situation.
Here's Daniel Cabrera. He's 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. First pitch to him is a fastball that finds a zone for strike 1. He's flown out to all 3 members of the outfield. Fedko in the first, Hess in the 4th, and DiGiacomo back in the 7th. 0-1 from Hess. Flown out into shallow left field. Kyle Hess is running in on it. He's under it, and he's got it. The Braves 1 out away.
And Shaw hasn't been able to do, or hasn't needed to do any work at all. Just 4 pitches to get through the first 2 batters, and that brings up Cavadas. We mentioned his numbers, 6 home runs in the last 7 games. A home run would be huge here, but with the way the Braves pitching staff is working, this is the same pitching staff we've seen in the early part of the year when they were dominant. And this performance resembles that, and Shaw's looking to end this game with a save against Cavadas, one of the hottest hitters in the league.
First pitch to Nico Cavadas, and it misses outside for ball 1. Cavadas on today's game, he's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, and he walked on 4 pitches. He was the last batter against Ryan Cusick. He looks at Kieran Shaw for the first time. Here's the 1-0. And that misses upstairs. Count now at 2-0. Kieran Shaw from Harvard University looking for his 2nd save of the year. 2-0 pitch, flown up, and this could do it. Xavier Warren is under it, right by the third base bag, and he makes the catch. Kieran Shaw saves the game here for the Braves. They pick up the win 2-1 in 9 innings against the Harwich Mariners. Make that win number 11 on the season for the Bravos.
This was the definition of a pitcher's duel. Just 8 combined hits between these 2 teams and 3 combined runs. The Braves win it 2-1 on just 1 real big hit by Kyle Hess in the 2nd inning. A 2-run home run for him ends up being the difference, and the Braves get the win at White House Field. They win the season series against the Harwich Mariners.
They do. They pick up their 3rd win of the season against the Mariners, and now for only the 2nd time all season long, Sam, they get a win scoring 2 or less runs. They now move to 2-11. When they do that, they are back up to 500 on this stretch of 17 games on 16 days, 5-5 so far, and this is a big win again as we get nearer and nearer to the playoffs.
Yeah, after winning 3 straight, the Braves lose 2 straight to Wareham and Katuitt, and this was a game that it was good to get back into the winners column for the Braves and not go on a 3-game losing streak and possibly lose more ground in that 3rd spot in the Western Division. They win it against Harwich, an Eastern opponent who has more points than them, a better record on the season in a tougher division, and the Braves show their strength. They go back to their roots in the pitching staff. That won them this game. Kyle Hess had the home run, but the pitching staff won them this game, and it was good to see that tonight. The pitching staff really returning to the old ways in the beginning of the year.
And I think that's interesting is that this is a game that we would see out of this pitching staff in the first week or 2 of the season. Cusick went out and he earns the win. He throws 6 2/3, only giving up 3 hits, 1 run. Iverson pitches 1 1/3, giving up 2 hits, and Shaw, of course, the perfect night. What does this do for their confidence, Sam, moving forward? Mac Lardner on the mound tomorrow against Katuitt.
Yeah, it's big, and Katuitt, obviously a good team. They're second place in the Western Division. They've beaten the Braves a few times. Mac Lardner, one of the best pitchers in the entire Cape Cod Baseball League. It's good. Mac Lardner should have a good game tomorrow against a very powerful lineup. Then you play YD, who's another good team, a lot of power in their lineup in the Eastern Division, and then it's a home and home with YD. So it was good to get a win at Harwich at White House Field against a team that has been hot recently. The Braves grab a win here, and it's good for the confidence to not go on a 3-game losing streak, which you certainly don't want to do.
Let's go over the final totals of tonight's game. The Bourne Braves advanced to 11-16 on the year, picking up their 22nd point. They score 2 runs off 3 hits, do not commit an error, and only leave 3 on base. Harwich, on the other hand, score 1 run off 5 hits, 1 error, and leave 3 on base. Ryan Cusick picks up the win. He now moves to 2-2 on the year. Carson Seymour loses tonight's game. He falls to 0-2, and Kieran Shaw picks up his 2nd win of the game. Total game time, 2 hours and 19 minutes. The Braves back in action tomorrow night from Doran Park. We'll take a quick break for Sam Wiederhaft. I'm Jordan Palacio. The Braves pick up the 2-1 win, and we'll be right back with the winning pitcher of tonight's game, Ryan Cusick, right here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Here with tonight's winning pitcher, Ryan Cusick, throwing 6 2/3, only giving up the 1 run. And Ryan, you looks like you had a lot of command out there. How many different pitches were you working in, and what was kind of the approach coming into today's game?
Approach was just to come and fill up the zone early. Slaughter was working early, both my fastballs. And then as we got through the game, second and third time through the order, mixing in that changeup, it ended up working out. So,
and when you go into this game, you have a lot of run support out there, offensively getting up 3 hits. Do you ever feel a little bit of pressure knowing that you can't really make a mistake out there on the mound, or how do you kind of block that out?
My approach to each inning is just that it's 0-0 every time out. So it doesn't matter if we're up by 10, down by 10, or tie game. I'm just trying to win the inning. So Kyle Hess obviously got into a ball and gave us the 2 runs, and that's all we needed. And fortunately for me, some great bullpen pitching and got us the win.
Yeah, it absolutely did. And Hess did hit that bomb out there. And now, I know it was a long day for you guys. How ready are you to go ahead, get a shower, jump back into bed? You were up at what, 8 in the morning? That was when the bus left today?
Yeah, bus at 8:30, so I had to get up at 6:30. So.
Yeah, sounds like a long day. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, and congratulations on the win. The Braves back in action tomorrow night against the Cavaliers from Doran Park. Until then, we are signing off. Good night, everybody.